Okay, I think it's working. Right, I've printed the first cowling cover that goes. I'm actually printing one of the stator blades at the moment, so I wanted to test it to see what it come out like. I've had to acetone it because it was cracking a bit around the edges, but it isn't that thick really. Well, it's about 5mm thick. See how thick it actually turned out. It's 3.54mm thick is the edge there, so that's quite thick, but hard to measure the other part because the other part that's recessed because it's staggered. So, but that should be the same thickness as this top one anyway. So yeah, and the actual top is pretty thin. It doesn't need to be thick really. But I'll go back into SketchUp and show you what else I've been doing. So that's still drying out because I acetoned it. It's a bit rough inside, but yeah, there's a little bit of pottling, what you call it, lumpy bits, which I'll probably sand them off later. I'll get my Dremel on it and sand them off because the rotary system is going to be spinning inside there, and I don't want anything sticking out that's going to catch on, you know. But I can use my chisel. I thought I'd let it dry out a bit though first, because it is a bit soft with me using the acetone on it. Actually, what I want to do is I want to remove this step so that it's tapered. I want to make it so that this edge is sloped so that it doesn't put support material around. So that's probably one of the things I'm going to do. But anyway, I'm going to go into the I'm going to go into SketchUp and show you what else I've been doing. Right, so that's working. Right, this top section is the air intake. Now what I've done with that is I've put stator fans. Let's just walk inside here. Basically the air comes in, the intake comes in through these slots, and it's immediately introduced into a spiral by the arrangement of these static blades. So the air comes in, it already starts to spin in a, oops, I've gone through the wall, already starts to spin in a spiral as it's coming in towards the blades. It's a bit difficult to navigate, and you can see that the red section is the air intake down below. So the air is already in a rotary introduction to the blades. So then the air basically gets sucked down here into the red section. We go all the way down. Oops, I'm going inside the wall again. Right, it's a bit hard, but it's very tight. Oops, very tight to navigate. It's easy to get lost. Right, the yellow is the outer wall of the drum. So the air basically runs up against this drum here. Now I have been having to think about this, about if I can make this better. Now the air basically is spiraling, right, and it's basically got to do a U-turn really on the outside. And I'm thinking, maybe what I should really do is have it in this vortex motion, actually introduce it into the central core in the sort of that direction. But at the moment it's kind of doing a U-turn, which is probably not very efficient. So I'm thinking about this, because obviously once it turns around, it goes down this other stator, and then it's reintroduced into another suction section in red down below, and so on. So it goes down this section then. Well, there's multiple sections obviously, but we're just going down one, but we can't go down them all at once. So, and then it goes down and it hits that wall again, and the inside of the drum. So I'm thinking, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to back out of there a minute, because actually I can probably get rid of that, because it's easy enough to. Oh, I'll just move it out of the way because it keeps getting in my way. I'll stick it over here somewhere. Right, I'm going to make a copy of all this. At the moment I've grouped everything. The top section is separate from the bottom group. So I'm going to group the bottom section. I'm going to make one group so that everything stays together. Hopefully everything's in a group, and I'm going to copy that group. Let's see if I leave anything behind. So I've made a copy of that. Right, so I've got two copies now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one. I'm just going to stick that one over there a bit further, so it's out of the way. And I'm going to hide it all because I want an original. I don't want to mess with it. The problem with that though is the fact that these are some of these components are linked. So actually I think what I should do is what I will do is I'll undo that. I'm going to copy that, put it in a separate file, copy, and I'm just going to save that for now. Right, I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to paste it in another file so I don't mess it up. Down here somewhere. Come on, where are you? Oh, there you are. Right. Right, so I've got a backup copy of that just before I mess with it, because some of these components are linked, you see. I'll save that as hang on. I'm going to call it vacuum backup. I'll just save that because before I start messing with things, I'll save that. Right. Now let's go back to the other one. Right, okay, I might as well delete that now actually. I'll just delete it because it's in the backup now. So what I've been thinking, let's just hang on a minute, let's just edit that. Right, just hide the top there. Right, you can see that what I've done there is, as the air comes in, it basically spirals to the centre and it's introduced into the red section below, and the air intake, and it spirals outwards again. Right, let's just undo that. Right, I'm just going to hide the top section. Oops, hide the top section. And what I'm thinking about is reversing the actual status inside there. Right, edit group. Let's just grab one of these. Right, copy. Right, I just grab one of those. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unhide that, and I want to lock that so it's not going to get changed. Right, all of that's locked now. Right, it's basically can't be changed. Right, so I'm going to paste this over here, paste it over here. Come on. So we only need to work on one because they're all copies, or basically copies of each other. So, but now let's get rid of the cover. I'm just hiding it for now. Right. So I've been thinking about this a bit, and let's just hang on a minute. Edit group. Well, that's actually a group, it's not a component, right. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that group into a component, right, so that any changes I make to a copy of that will be changed to that one as well. So that's now a component. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that, whoops, and I'm going to come over here, I'm going to paste that. So that is basically just a copy of the other one, but it's a component now. So anything I change, anything I do to that will automatically happen to that one over there. I'll show you what I mean. So if I edit this component, if I delete that, if I erase that, you'll notice that that one's been erased as well. It's lost the face off it, right? Let's just undo and you'll see it come back. So I can make changes to this without actually moving that one. So that one can stay in situ, so it's centered and balanced and everything. And by making a copy of it, and making a component first and making a copy of it, I can actually change this without all the other stuff in the way, and nothing over there gets moved out of place. So I can change things around, whatever I want, and then once I finish changing this one, I can delete it, and that one will remain with all the new changes that I've done. So I was just saying a while ago, I wanted to show how I do these fins, these rotor things. This is a stator though. So as this rotor, the red rotor that is, as it's spinning clockwise, the air is flowing in this direction. It's effectively flowing clockwise like this. So basically what's happening is the air is moving in a spiral, and it's caught by the fins of the stator below it and channeled towards, through these fins, back towards the intake of the rotary stator, that the rotary array that's below it. Now I was thinking, well, the problem is though, is that as the air of this rotary system flies out, it basically has to turn. It's spiraling around. It basically has to turn slightly. Well, as you saw, as the air is coming out of here, it's actually flowing in the reverse direction. It has to do a U-turn and come back. Well, there's going to be more effect on the. There's more braking effect taking place on the outside rim than would be on the inside rim, on the inside where it's been taken in. So what I was thinking of doing is reversing these, right? Or rather redesigning them, because I'm going to redesign them and I'm going to show you how I would do it actually. Each one is basically 40 degrees apart from the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I mustn't remember the height of these though, because I mustn't forget the height. So the height is basically 7mm high. Right. I need to make some notes, otherwise I'll get lost. So I'll get a notepad open or something. So I'm just going to write stator blades. What was it? I've forgotten. 7mm high. So just sort of remember. Let me just do a double check because my memory's like a sieve. Yeah, 7mm high. I'm going to make some improvements because I've got an idea that we don't really have to focus them back towards the air intake of the rotary that's going down below, because it's spinning a vortex already. It's in a vortex, it's spinning clockwise, so we should introduce them in front of the airflow should be introduced in the front of the blades. And what I'm saying is we need to introduce the airflow in front of the blades, so that these blades are basically going to cut into that airflow anyway. They're just going to, we don't have to do a U-bend on the inside because they're all spinning, so the airflow will effectively, it will be accelerated anyway because it's coming into the centre, so the blades on the rotary system will basically be playing catch up with the air anyway, so we don't need to redirect them back into the blades, because what we're doing there is slowing them down, because we've got two forces coming in towards each other. It's like two cars coming head on collision basically, you know. We don't want that happening really. We want to introduce it into, like when you're overtaking a car, you overtake a car, you actually overtake and you're pulling up in front of the car in front. Well, that's basically what I'm thinking about with the airflow, is to introduce the airflow so that it basically comes in front of the blades on the next section, and it's already in a spinning vortex, so we don't, so I'm going to redo this anyway. So the way to do that is fairly simple. I mean, what I'll do is I'll simply I'll just copy this I'll just get this face, right. I'm going to lock that face. Oh, I can't lock it. No, what I'll do is I'll delete the top face, right, and I'll just thicken it out again. So the thickness of this disc is it's 1.1mm thick. It's pretty thin. It doesn't have to be thick because it's a stator, it's not spinning, so it doesn't take any stresses. So stator disc is 1.1mm thick. I have to remember these things. I don't want to keep going backwards and forwards to measure stuff, so so I'm going to create some new stator blades. So all I have to do is delete this face. Now all of these are individual. They should be individual now. Oh, actually, no, they won't be yet because there's still a rim on there. So let's delete that rim. Well, it's easier said than done. So I need to get rid of these. So I need to write it down, because by the time I just need to isolate it, that's all, from that bottom, because then and then I'm just because I'm going to keep the bottom surface disc, and then I'm just going to redesign this, because those are pretty, they can't be easily manipulated because of the all I need to do is separate them. So let's just separate them. I'm just getting rid of some straggling bits. Won't take long because there's not a lot to this. I've separated that one. because what I'm going to do is that one's separated, because all I have to do is select all and then deselect the bottom face, and then I can just pull that back up again. Right, that's separate now. I didn't like that overhang anyway. I don't really need an overhang. I'm going to try and avoid that if I can. I don't really need an overhang where the blades come in, because it causes some printing issues, actually, support material and all that stuff, you know. Right, let's have a look. Have I got it? Right, let's see. Have I got it all separate? Looks like I have. So, oops. I backed into something. Right, so all I've got to do now is, actually I should be able to do this on an edge view or something. No, maybe I can't. It's a bit tricky to do on an edge view. So what I'll do is select all connected. That's the bottom layer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new group. So that's separate. Now I'm going to lock it. Right, it's locked now. Now, because that group's locked, I can select everything else that's not in that group. So I'm just going to select everything, and I'm going to press the del key. All that stuff's gone except my protected area, so I'm going to unlock it. Now I'm going to explode it, which is basically undoing the grouping. Right, now I need to make a new face on there, so I'm just going to basically put a line across there. And hang on a minute, that didn't join up properly. Hang on a minute, undo that. I want to be on there. I'm going to fill that hole as well in the middle, but I'm going to redo that. Right, I've got a new face on there now. I'll just delete that line. I'm going to fill this hole again. Right, now I'm going to push that hole through. I'm going to make a new hole all the way through. Right, so like that. So I've got a new hole going all the way through. Right, now I'm going to select all, make a new group. Remember, this is a component, so if we look at the one over there, wherever it is. Oh, did I hide it? I think I did. Right, if you look over there, that other one's changed as well. Look, it's no longer got any blades in it. Right. So what we're going to do now is create a new set of blades, but I want the blades to actually, the air's blowing in a spiral clockwise, so we need to create new pins that are effectively travelling in the same direction as the red one. But so let's go back in here, because that's grouped. Anything I do on here right now is not going to be messed up. But I do need it to fill that hole in temporarily, so I'm just going to edit, because I want to get a center point. I want to get my center, so I'm just going to cover that hole temporarily so that I can get a center, because now what I need is I need another circle. I've got a center there. I need another circle that is actually inside that circle, outside that circle, and that circle is 16 millimeters from the center. So I'm going to go to let's see, I'm going to go to 18. Right, I'll show you why in a minute. I'm going to divide it by 100. Right, now I'm going to close it. Now that's grouped. Right, now I'm going to create something else. So I'm going to go to that a point somewhere on that outer circle, and I'm going to create, as you can see, I'm in the wrong place right now. I'm actually in the wrong place right now. So that outer circle is too close. So undo that. Undo, because I need to. Right, I need to come out to 24. Let's call it 25. So I made another circle at 25. I'm going to divide that by 100 because I get smooth, a nice round circle then. Right, let's close that out so that's locked again. Let's pick a point on the outer rim. Now I'm just going to do another circle up to this edge, and you'll notice that what's happened. Let's zoom in onto this edge. I want to basically link up with one of these lines. Right, so I've got a circle on top of a circle, but I don't want all of it, because if you look, it's actually coming, it's intersecting with that center hole, which will be a hole. So what I do now is I get rid of this part. Oops, didn't want to do that. I just want to select part of that. I don't want to select all of it. So what I'll do is I'll divide it. It'd be easier then. Oops, slipped. Let's divide it by 100 again. Let's go to 100. Right, divide by 100. Get my eraser thing. And I want to get rid of the stuff I don't want. And don't forget, the other one is the other one's inside a group, so it won't get affected by the eraser. Right. Oops. It shouldn't get affected by the eraser. Actually, just a minute. That is still grouped, yeah. Right. Oops. Undo. It's because I went and clicked on that other line underneath and I deleted the group. All I want is this piece here that goes between there and there. Right. This other circle is going to be disappearing shortly, but let's get rid of this line here. I've got some spots. The fun part comes up in a minute or two. It's very important to get rid of that double line, otherwise it's going to cause a lot of mess later on. Right, that's where it intersects, just there. It's not actually quite intersecting, but that doesn't matter. That's good it's not intersecting with that. I'll show you why in a minute. Otherwise it messes everything up. Now, I need to make that arch. I need to make that arch so that it's thicker. Now, what we're going to do there? Well, that's where. Oh, I forgot to remember where my centre was. Duh. Well, let's just guess. That's not far off. That's not far off. But I need to be a bit further out, so undo that. So what I need to do now is go back into my thingy, edit group. Now I need to get rid of this circle. Actually, I'll make another circle first because I need to. Centre. So I need another circle outside that circle, right about there. I'm just guessing roughly. Right, it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly round at this stage. Right, I can actually delete that hole now because I don't really need to worry about the hole. Oh yes I do, I need that hole, I do. I'll show you why in a minute. Right, so I'll just close out that group. Now I'm back to this other outside layer now. I'll get my circle thingy. Now I should be about, oh I've gone a bit too far with that other circle, and I do. Yeah, well, I told you math isn't my thing, so I'm going to go back in here and edit that again. Actually, it'd be easier if I just undo. I need to make this a little bit bigger, not much, just a fraction. Right. Close that out so it's grouped again. Now touch that other circle and we should be able to get a circle inside that circle. Oh, that's wrong, it's too far now. Right, okay, hang on a minute. I'll get rid of that again. I'm just showing you how I do it. I'm not saying it's the right way, but it's just the way I do it. Right. Close that group. Let's make sure that's isolated. Now come down to this line. Should be able to get this just. Oops, I need to move that a bit. Right, that's not bad. I'm quite happy with that. So what I'll do is I'll come down to it's sticky on the edge. I don't want it on the edge. It's sticky. Let's zoom in a bit. Right, I want to be about something like that. Right. So how thick is that line? How thick is that? That's about 2.8 millimeters. That's pretty thick, really, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because there's plenty of room in there. So now I'll get my eraser again. Oops, wrong one. It's because it was all selected. I just want that one. Oh, I have to divide it again. Divide it so that it doesn't all get... Oh, I think autosave must be... No, that's okay. I'll divide it by 100. Now, just select that middle. Get the eraser out. Now it gets really fun when you see how you make these things. All I need to do is create one. Right, so there's a taper point here where it tapers off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that trailing edge there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to join these two together like this. So there's a trailing edge there. But actually this is capturing, so I've got that going the wrong way. So what I need to do is undo that. And what I need to do is basically move that line to that one, like that. Delete that one. Now the inside one wants to be, the air is introduced into the rotary system, the air is flowing around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just clip onto that line just there. It's not critical about the angle of where the air is exiting, but I'm going to make a nice slope, but I don't want it too pointy, so I'm going to cut across there, and I'm just going to erase that. Right, so we've got one blade, but it doesn't look right yet, does it? Well, that's okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back into, let's extrude it actually. Let's extrude that by, it's, what was it? 7mm high. Well, I can do that. Well, 7mm high if I want, but I'm not going to do it right yet because I'm not going to do it just yet because I want to get rid of those other lines in here. So I've got to get rid of these other lines. Otherwise things are going to get messed up. Because that other one's outside the group, it won't affect it when I use my eraser. I can go right over it because it's not in the group. Right, I've got rid of all that. I'm going to leave that hole filled in for now. I can erase it and my hole's back, but I'm going to leave it in, undo, because I'll show you why. Because it's important that we have a central point. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to extrude that by 7mm. 7mm. Right. Now I'm going to select all connected. I'm going to make that a group. Make group. So it's a group all by itself. Right. Next thing is we get our what do you call it? Our protractor. We get our protractor. We click in the we get the center. We click on the center. Right. Press plus. Plus, as in control key. And now all I have to do is rotate. And I'll type 40 degrees. Press enter like that. So I've got a copy of that. Now I'm going to go back to the middle again, clicking, I'm in the centre, clicking the centre. Doesn't matter where this line is, all I've got to do is press the plus sign, plus, click with my left mouse button and go around and type 40 degrees. And we've got 3 now, look. So, click in the centre with the protractor, put it anywhere you want on there, press control, the plus, rotate, oops, I didn't, well, I'm there, oh I didn't select, press left mouse button, now type 40 degrees, and keep doing that until we get them all. Plus, oops, I forgot my plus key. Ah, I lost my center. Oops. All done. So we have our new array. Now all I have to do now is click on that bottom one, lock it, lock that, select everything, explode it, there. All of those are exploded now, right, which means they're actually on the surface. So all I've got to do now is click back on there, unlock, right, now explode that one, delete the whole. Now all I have to do is select all of that, intersect faces with model, wait for that to do that. Alright, they should be all bonded on there now. Now there will be one thing which needs to be dealt with. Go on the back face, we'll hide that face because we have potential errors that will creep up in 3D printing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase all these. These are hollow sections where those blades are, so we have to erase all of these. It also tells us that we've got the model right, because if we can't erase them, or if we erase them and something else disappears, then you know you've done something wrong, and then they're not the faces aren't meeting up properly. So erase that, erase that, erase that, erase that. Right, we've got hollow fins now. So now I'm going to put the invisible geometry back on, click on that, unhide. There's our new rotor system. Right, Now everything I've just changed on there has been changed over here. Let's just turn off visible. Now you can see we now have a new rotary stator. So what will happen now is that the airflow will be travelling into the intake of our air intake, and remember the air is spinning in a vortex, so as it exits, as it comes out the exit point here, it will actually be spinning in such a way that it will find it easy to enter the stator underneath. So it will actually enter, because it's already spinning clockwise, it will enter this new one that we've just made, and it will be reintroduced into the next input, which will be below there, which we don't have right now on this one. But let's go and have a look, because remember everything we've done on here, backing out, will have been changed on the ones over there. So we're going to have a look. So if I just edit group, unhide, that's all back. Now everything I've changed on there should have changed in here as well. Shall we find out? Let's find out. Let's go and have a look. This is where navigation gets like, I'm just going to turn my light off actually. Right, so I don't know where you're walking here. I've tried. Oh, where have I gone? Oh, here we are. Let's keep going down here. Now, this is the intake where it takes the air in. There's the there's the first stage below that's spinning, the red section spinning. Right, so the air is drawn in through here. Right, and because now the air is actually spiraling this direction, because the air is flowing and this, because it's spinning, so basically the air now will still be coming around a corner, but it's really, I mean, it's the same as before really, except that we're no longer re-angling the air, so the air is flowing into the stator section, which is this one. However, it'll be different when it comes out, because instead of it actually turn around, instead of it meeting directly onto the blades of the fan, oh hang on, what have I done? Oh, what I did was I made it unique, didn't I? Yeah, I made that unique or something. Yeah, so yeah, okay, so this one hasn't been changed, right? Okay, well that's all right, no worries. I can just come out a minute. I'm reversing out of here, and I'm going the long way. Oh, I locked this, didn't I? Yeah, it's locked. That's why. Let's unlock it. Did anything change on there? That is a question. Because I locked it, nothing changed. Hang on a minute, let's just edit group. Hide. Yeah, this didn't change because I had it locked, that's why. Let's see, did it change now? Now I've unlocked it. Doesn't matter if it didn't, because it's easy enough for me to create this again. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I mean, all I do is copy that assembly and stack it, restack it, and you'll see what I mean. Right, so that's the original configuration, that one. Right, let me just get out of here quickly. Right, alright. Now, the new assembly is this one. Okay? This has all been updated with a new arrangement. So what I'm going to do is, because if you look at the spacing, get my ruler. Right, the spacing between these sections is 20.4 millimeters. Right. So go over to this one. Right, I need to copy that. So I'm going to use my plus key, come down, I'm going to type, oops, trying to keep this straight, 20.4, right, I made one copy, right, now we're going to go down, plus 20.4. Right, we should have 3 now, and these are the new configuration. The only thing that's different is the fact that that space at the top is going to be wrong on the ones below. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that. Yeah, they're too long. So what I'll do is I forgot the measurements now. Hang on a minute, we'll look at this one just a minute. Let's just go in this one. Edit group, edit, oops, what have I done? Oh, I did something wrong then. Edit group, hide that one. Right, this spacer is 8 millimeters tall, so I have to adjust the spacers on the other ones. So hang on. Just write this down because I've 8 millimeter. I forget stuff all the time. I'll just undo. I just wanted to put all that back because this one wants to be reduced. Edit group, edit group, edit group, edit group, otherwise they'll overlap, you see. Alright, this one wants to come down. It's 17.2. Can't add up. 17.2 minus 8, so I need to take 9.2 millimeters off it, so 9.2, right, that's that one fixed. Hide. Nice one. Edit group. Edit group. What was it? 9.2? Yeah. 9.2. Right, that's fixed too. So that's the spaces on the internal parts are shorter. Right, so that's done. Right. Now we can navigate through and have a look. So this is the new configuration. Actually I need to colour code this, so I know which is which. So I'm going to edit group and edit component. I'm going to colour that colour code that top different colour. Colour code it green. That will have colour coded all of them because they've got components the same colour. Right. Let's go and have a sneak peek of what's going on in here. Ah! Oh, this is tight. It's hard work navigating. Right, we'll come in. Oh look at that. We can already see the new blade that's below us, the new intake. So the air is spinning this way. It's moving from left to right. The air is, because it's spinning a vortex. So the air basically will be captured by this. Oh, I think I've got that a bit too long actually. Oops. It's sticking all the way through my yeah, no worries, I can trim them down. It looks like I need to, actually what I'll do is, while I'm here, edit group, edit component. What I'm going to do is, while I'm inside here, I'm just going to put a line so I can do the others the same later on, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line between there and there, and I can actually do it while I'm in here. All I have to do is just get my, go all the way down, trim that bit off. I don't think I went far enough. Nope. Does it stick through the bottom a bit? Oh, it looks like it did. Oh, I'll go, right, that's it, I see. Ah! Oh, damn it. I'll sort that out in a bit. It doesn't want to be protruding out the outside of that, the case, does it? You know. Anyway, we're going to continue navigating. And come back, there's the, remember the air is spinning clockwise, it's going around, so we're now actually going to enter this, the second array, the second rotary system that's actually spinning from left to right basically. So we're already, the air is already entered in a spinning vortex, so we're not going to slow it down, so we're not going to be coming directly into the blades this time, but instead the blades are going to cut into that airflow. They're going to cut into that airflow because the air will probably be slightly slower, maybe. Oh, I don't know, it might actually be faster because it tapers off, you see, the, oops, gone too far back, the actual airflow, the things, the blades taper slightly as they come to the centre, so it should be accelerated. The airflow should be running faster as it enters these second set of blades, right? So then the air will basically be, it's like overtaking a car, and the next thing you know these blades are up your rear end and we're backing out through these blades this time. We're actually reversing through the blades because the idea is that we don't want to lose any speed. You want to keep that air moving. We want to keep moving. So I'm backing out without seeing where I'm going because I've got no reverse mirrors. I'm completely lost now, so I've got to be, right, I'm backing out. So the, oops, I've gone too far for the wall. So air's coming out, it's backing out. I've gone for the wall again. So then we go down and it's actually it's the air's still flowing clockwise, so it's going to still be captured by that this next one, and it's going to spin into this one as well. So the air is accelerating. Every time it goes through them blades, it accelerates more. So I'm not losing speed this time because I'm not doing any head-on collisions. Literally, the airflow is amplifying as it's going through. That's my idea anyway. So anyway, now I need to go and fix those stators. So I'm back all the way out now because my other one should be. Let's get out quickly. Ah, come on! Hurry up. Right, the one that I altered will be altered on here too. Now let's see where the alteration. There it is. Look, that's the alteration that I made because it was too far on the edge, too near the edge. So what I need to do now is basically measure the distance between there and there. Right, let's measure that distance. And it's basically 2.6 millimeters, right? So, alright. I just want to close all that other stuff out because I want to be in this group. So what I can do now is I don't even have to, these are identical, remember. I don't even have to measure it. All I need to know is how many segments I've trimmed off there. So it'll be, by the looks of it, it looks like it's 3 segments. So I think I actually trimmed 3 segments off there. So all I've got to do is edit this. It looks like 3 segments, so all I've got to do is, that's 1, 2, 3, I think it's 3 segments. Cut across to there, I think it will be. Oh no, it's more than 3 segments. Hang on a minute, let's have a look at this. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like I trimmed 6 off. Let's just check. Oops. Well, let's check that. That's 1.9. Oh my god. 1.9. I think I've taken more off of there. Oops. That's 2.6. I actually took more off there. Right, hang on a minute. Let me just work this out. Let me just bring this back up again. I should be able to see it. Oh, I've lost my other segments off there. Look, they've disappeared. That's weird. I want to be on the face. I don't know what happened to that. Weird. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll measure between that one and the edge. .6 millimeters, right? Okay. Get off. I'm trying to get that ruler to. So Where will I be for 2.6 millimeters? That's the one. Right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 segments. So I need to trim 7 of those off. Seven segments. Right. Delete guides, I think. Right, so I'm going to trim 7 segments off. That's good because I've got a nice sharp entry point for the airflow as well, which is pretty good. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not critical about how the air gets in there. What's important is that you have minimum friction as the air enters there, you know. The only thing I'm not happy about is it's pointing slightly inwards. I really want it pointing further out, so I'm just gonna let me have a think about this a minute. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Right, do the next one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, all the way around. Now, I hope I can erase these without destroying my face. Yeah. That's why I left it till last. So I've got two versions to try out. I will have when I print them. I think it was multi-segments for some reason, that one, I don't know why. They should all be identical really. But right, so that's the other alternative with the blades more even, and actually there's less of a tight curve on there, so there should be less of an air slowdown. And I was thinking about it because the actual intake part of the section of the rotary system, because this is a stator, doesn't really need to be facing into the blades because the air is already spinning in the vortex, and as you know, when you pull a piece of string with a nut on the end that's spinning, it will accelerate as it comes to the centre, so the air will actually be running. As it moves in, it will actually accelerate, so it will actually be running faster than the rotary system, so it will actually speed up even more as it captures that airflow. So yeah. Right, so that's that. Right, now all of these changes now should be, I changed the colour coding, didn't I? Well, this group is different to that group. Oops. I mean, this group is all the same, but yeah, alright, okay, so I changed the colour. I need to make, when I colour coded this different, that one went the same as well, so oh, blooming egg. Well, that means I've got to, let me just x-ray them, because they're definitely different now. These two are different from each other, so x-ray, let's have a look. Let's bring them close together. That's one group, this is multiple groups. Make group, so I'll move them all together, otherwise they get separated. Right, so now let's x-ray them, but oops, I'm not lined up. Let's have a look now. Now we should see a difference between the two. Hard to flip him out. Oh, we can see it underneath. You can see the difference underneath, look, between the two. So that's that one. The tight airflow curves. And this is this one with a new alternate rotary. And if you look, the curves are pretty much all the same way. Yeah. You can pretty much see them all the way through the X-ray view. So yeah, I've got a feeling that this one might actually be more effective. I probably will print that. I probably will print some of this stuff out first, some of the rotary things as well, you know. But yeah. So that's that state. You can just see it poking out the bottom. The red section is the base of the other fan that's above it, because there's a gap between these stators and the rotary red. If you look, there's a gap, look. So this gap is, these are stationary, this thing, a red thing above it, is spinning. And the stators sit on this ledge here, right, there's a ledge. They sit on this ledge, this yellow thing sits on this ledge, and the actual, that looks massive there, but trust me, that gap is 0.9 millimeters. That's less than a millimeter space between them. It just looks massive when you look inside it, but yeah, it's actually only less than a millimeter, so by the time it's printed, there's not going to be any slop in there at all. Right, so I've got two versions now, two alternatives to play around with different specs. Am I still alive? I must be. I suppose I better save this now before I go and lose it. Right, the canopy, I need to bring that canopy back as well. Hang on a minute. View. Right, there's the canopy. I haven't got a canopy on this one, so I can easily see which is which anyway, because this other one I haven't got a canopy on yet. Oh, the canopies are unique anyway, so what I'm going to need to do is bring that canopy over. Actually, I won't even bother. What's the point? The canopy will fit in real life. I don't need to move it across here. I'll just print another canopy out. It'll fit on this one because they're all exactly the same dimensions and everything, so there's no point in putting the canopy on this one. It's interchangeable anyway. So right, I'll save it again. Now I've unhidden it. Oh, and the printout that I'm doing with the rotary centrifugal fan is printing out right now. One of them anyway. And it's coming out pretty well actually. I'm just looking at it at the moment. I'll see. Oh, the camera doesn't have a long lead on, so I can't really show you on it. But I'll see if I can. The wire's not long enough. See if I can get the. I'll put the light back on a minute. I don't know if you're able to see it actually, but let's have a look. Right, right over here. You might be able to see it. I don't know. It didn't show up very well. It's grey. Look. Oh, actually, it looks very spotty. Yeah, it looks very spotty. Ugh. I'll have to clean it up with a knife. Yeah, this silver filament isn't very good. Don't know what it is. I'll have to try printing it on the Windows XP 64-bit version. It might actually do a better job because it's with having more bits. Maybe it'll do a better job. I'll try slicing it on that one. I'll re-slice them later on. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for now. Not much else to show you right now. Thanks for watching.